Hey guys, welcome to the Home Connect Solutions channel. My name is Tim Trich, and in today's video, I thought I'd take you behind the scenes on one of our new construction projects. So here at Home Connect, we help everybody with their home Wi-Fi, their home network. We manage it for you, we take care of it for you. We help get your smart devices online, and we fully support streaming so you can save money from the cable company. But one of the really exciting ways we help people is building a network into their new construction home and then taking care of it for them. So what starts as just a bunch of wires hanging out of the wall turns out to be a great solution. And in today's video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and just show you exactly what that looks like. So take a look at this. All right, guys, so here's our starting point. We've got our cables coming out of the wall. And we're going to be installing a gear and some shelf and make this all look real nice, but let's get going. All right, guys, so this is kind of what we're going to start with here. We got our shelf. You saw our cables earlier. So I like to kind of separate things, and then I'm actually going to kind of lay out my equipment on here and get a feel for how this is all going to sit. But our equipment will sit up here. I have a UPS, a router, a little 8-port switch, and then we're going to actually install 2 access points in the house as well to give Wi-Fi coverage in the home. So this is our fiber module. So Cox is actually bringing in fiber to the home and actually just going to give us an Ethernet handoff right into our router. We don't need a modem or anything, which is really nice, a separate modem, which is really, really nice. So we're going to get these cables terminated, get everything looking nice and neat. These other cables over here are speaker cables actually, so they're going to be used for other parts of the home. But yeah, so this is kind of our starting point. We'll kind of document as we go. The goal here is to make this look as nice and neat. We're going to label everything, make it easy to find where the plugs are and everything, and I'll continue to take little video snippets as we go. All right, so here's my game plan here. So we have our router, our switch, small UPS, so we have some battery backup. Like I said, we got our fiber module. I'm gonna run the blue cables kind of down nice and neat and tuck it around and go into my switch. And then this area over here, these are some speaker wires for a Sonos amp. So I have a couple Sonos amps stacked over here, and then I'm gonna run them a separate power strip right behind here so they have the nice place to plug in. And they don't need to be protected by battery backup. We just want to protect our equipment. So they'll just have surge protection only, and we'll get everything going. So 2 of these blue cables go to access points in the house, and the rest are really just going to like TV locations. So we won't have enough ports on our switch just because that was what was sold to the customer to terminate every single one and make them all hot, but we'll be able to do at least all the ones where they're going to have TVs currently. So, and then I'll tidy up this cable over here too for the power and make it look all nice and neat. And we'll probably end up just putting a blank on this one, but this one will be exposed because when Cox ran the fiber, they didn't run it through a plate or anything. So we'll be kind of forced to just leave that open, but it's a utility room. We're in the furnace room, so something like that shouldn't be too big of a deal. All right, so we're gonna keep this thing rolling. All right, let me introduce you to the network here. So we got our UPS over here. We label everything so everybody knows what all the equipment is in case we have to do a phone call with any of our customers. So you can see everything's labeled. Even our amps over here for the music are labeled, so we have to power in case anything needs to be power cycled or whatever. So we have our Cox cable coming in. This is a piece of fiber running that. That's going to power our router into the switch. Our switch has a couple PoE ports, which is actually doing some of the Wi-Fi in the house. So we'll show that to you here, all nice and neat on a shelf. Fully documented, easy to get to. So yeah, this turned out really, really nice. And so we'll actually be able to, really help our customer here if they have an issue, need to power cycle something. All these are smart devices, so it's one of those things where we can, actually get into the system and look to see if there's issues. So let me take you over to an access point. I'll show you that. All right, so this is our basement access point. There's actually 2 of these in the house. As you can see, they're ceiling mounted, and they're going to provide the Wi-Fi coverage. So right out here, we have our back patio area, and then this is kind of just an open floor plan for the basement. But this is going to be providing the Wi-Fi. And so we actually manage our Wi-Fi with a cloud controller that ties into our Ubiquity system here, and it actually is how we set the Wi-Fi name, set the Wi-Fi password, and it just pushes down to all of our equipment. So all that's been configured already, so they can go ahead and start using it. And like I said, we have another one upstairs that is handling the upstairs portion of the house. So it's a really clean, sleek look. Everything's out of the way. You get the best of both worlds. You know, you don't have to worry about figuring out where you're gonna plug it in and set it down. So when you're building a home, having something like this built in your home is just a really nice way of getting great Wi-Fi coverage. And again, if it was a bigger home or a third floor, you know, we would just add another access point, pull a cable to it, and we're good to go. So turned out really, really well, and we're very, very pleased with how this is gonna work down the road. So I thought I'd do a quick little thing too. We did pull Ethernet jacks to all of the TVs, and you can notice they are not doing any cable jacks here, no coax was pulled. It's gonna be strictly streaming. We're gonna hardwire everything into this, which runs back to our switch you saw a minute ago. So, and then we use smart plugs here for our Amazon Fire Sticks, because what they'll allow us to do is reboot those on a schedule, and it just kind of makes things run a little nicer. So all the TVs that we're getting installed, to be 5 in this house, all have an Ethernet jack behind them and will be physically connected. Now, our Fire Sticks have an Ethernet adapter. Let me show you that. It's actually down here. So these Fire Sticks can actually plug in to Ethernet with this little Ethernet adapter right here. These are 15 bucks, and they just really make the streaming experience work really well. Now, we love the Amazon Fire Sticks because of the voice commands you can do and some of that stuff. So they've been really good devices for us, but when you add an Ethernet adapter and even take them off the Wi-Fi, they even run better. So it's been a good deal. So now that the network's set up, we're gonna help them get their Fire Sticks plugged in, get logged into their streaming apps, and help support that as well down the road. That way we know, you know, what apps they're using and that kind of stuff, and we can help them answer any questions they have. And this is an example of kind of a finished TV, right? So if we come around behind it, you'll see that we have some stuff behind it here. We've got our smart plug, our Fire Sticks plugged in. It's gonna be physically connected into the Ethernet, but when you stand back and look at this gym, and that's with this thing, you know, hung up here, it gives it a very clean look. No cables dangling down, no stuff. So, you know, by planning this stuff as part of your build, it really does make it turn out really, really nice. So I'm really pleased how this house is turning out. And again, these new construction homes, it just are an awesome way of doing things and makes things nice and clean and easy, and it's gonna work really well. So you have physically connected TVs to the network for your streaming, and then you're gonna have really nice access for Wi-Fi everywhere as well. So yeah, turned out really, really good.